CompTIA A Plus Core 1 Complete Training Course. Exam Objective 3.5. Given a scenario, install and configure motherboards, central processing units, and add-on cards. BIOS and UEFI. Before we talk about specific BIOS and UEFI settings, we need to clearly understand the term firmware. Firmware is a type of low-level software that is embedded into electronic devices to control their operation. For most computing systems, this low-level software is stored on a chip on the motherboard and acts as the bridge between the system's hardware and the operating system. Unlike applications that load after the operating system starts, firmware runs first. It initializes hardware components, verifies that they are functioning, and prepares the system to load the operating system. Without firmware, the system would not know how to communicate with the CPU, RAM, storage devices, or input and output components during startup. Traditionally, this firmware was called the BIOS. BIOS stands for Basic Input-Output System. BIOS has been used in personal computers for decades. When you power on a computer, the BIOS performs a power-on self-test, or POST. During this power-on self-test, the system checks critical hardware components such as the CPU, RAM, storage drives, and video system. If something is wrong, you may hear beep codes or see error messages before the operating system loads. After the POST completes successfully, the BIOS searches for a bootable device based on the configured boot order. It then loads the operating system into memory and hands-off control. However, traditional BIOS had limitations. It used older partition schemes, supported smaller drive sizes, and relied on a simple text-based interface. To overcome these limitations, UEFI was introduced. UEFI stands for Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. UEFI performs the same fundamental tasks as BIOS, but with modern enhanced capabilities. UEFI supports much larger storage drives through the use of GPT partitioning. It boots faster because it initializes hardware more efficiently. It also includes a graphical user interface, or GUI, that allows mouse support. Most importantly, it introduces advanced security features such as Secure Boot. Now that we understand what BIOS and UEFI are and what firmware does, let's talk about how to access and configure their settings. In order to access the BIOS or UEFI settings on your computer, you'll need to follow a few simple steps. Begin by restarting your device. During the startup process, keep an eye out for a message or logo that indicates which key to press to enter the setup utility. Common keys include Delete, F1, F2, F10, or Escape, but the specific key may vary depending on your computer's manufacturer. Once you've identified the correct key, press it repeatedly as soon as you see the message or logo appear on the screen. Timing is important here, so be ready to press the key immediately upon startup. If successful, you'll be taken to the BIOS or UEFI setup utility. From the setup utility, you will find a range of options for configuring your computer's hardware and firmware settings. So, are you interested in covering a few common scenarios with me? Well, all right then. Scenario 1. Imagine you are installing a new operating system from a USB drive. You insert the USB device, restart the computer, and nothing happens. The system continues loading the existing operating system from the internal drive. In this situation, you would enter the BIOS or UEFI setup utility and navigate to the boot order settings. Boot order determines the exact sequence in which the system checks devices for a bootable operating system. If the internal drive is listed first, the system will load from it before ever checking the USB device. To resolve the issue, you would move the USB drive higher in the boot priority list so it is checked before the internal storage device. Boot order is one of the most frequently configured firmware settings in real-world scenarios, especially during operating system installation, recovery procedures, or troubleshooting startup problems. Scenario 2. Suppose you're concerned about the security of your data and decide to enable drive encryption using technologies like Windows BitLocker. However, you encounter an issue where the drive encryption process is not proceeding smoothly. Suspecting that the Trusted Platform Module, or TPM, may not be enabled, you access the BIOS Setup utility to investigate. Within the security settings, you locate the option to enable the TPM, which is a hardware-based security feature that enhances data protection. With the TPM now enabled, the drive encryption proceeds seamlessly, providing an additional layer of security for your sensitive data. Okay, one more scenario before moving on, and this time I will use the UEFI interface in my example. Imagine you want to set up a virtual lab environment to test different operating systems and software configurations. To accomplish this, you plan to use virtualization software. However, when attempting to create virtual machines, you encounter errors indicating that virtualization support is not enabled. Suspecting that virtualization support may be disabled in the UEFI settings, you access the Setup utility to investigate. Within the UEFI interface, you would look for options such as Intel Virtualization Technology or AMD-V, which enables virtualization support. After ensuring that virtualization support is enabled, you restart your computer. Now, with virtualization enabled, you can create and run virtual machines smoothly, facilitating your experimentation and testing processes. In each of the scenarios described, accessing the BIOS or UEFI setup utility played a pivotal role in resolving hardware-related issues and optimizing system performance. BIOS and UEFI provides users with direct control over essential hardware configurations, allowing them to adjust settings such as memory allocation, storage detection, security features, and virtualization support. By navigating through the BIOS or UEFI interface, users can fine-tune their computer's hardware settings to suit their needs, ensuring optimal performance and compatibility with various software configurations. Beyond hardware configuration, BIOS and UEFI also manage peripheral control, including USB devices. Within the BIOS or UEFI settings, users can configure USB permissions to control access to connected devices. This feature is particularly useful for enhancing security by preventing unauthorized access or malicious activities through USB ports. By adjusting USB permissions, users can mitigate potential security risks and safeguard their system against external threats. In addition to controlling hardware configurations and managing connected devices, BIOS and UEFI also provide important access control mechanisms at the firmware level. These controls determine who is allowed to modify system settings and who is allowed to start the computer in the first place. Now let's discuss two important security settings that are often confused: BIOS password and boot password. A BIOS password, sometimes called a setup password or supervisory password, protects access to the BIOS or UEFI setup utility. If this password is set, a user must enter it before they can view or modify firmware settings. This prevents unauthorized changes to critical system configurations such as boot order, TPM settings, secure boot, or hardware enablement options. In simple terms, a BIOS password protects the firmware settings. On the other hand, a boot password, sometimes called a power-on password, serves a different purpose. A boot password is required immediately when the system powers on. The operating system will not begin loading until the correct password is entered. This restricts access to the entire system at startup. In simple terms, a boot password protects operating system access. To summarize, a BIOS password controls access to firmware configuration settings. A boot password controls access to the operating system. Understanding this difference is important because exam questions often test whether you know which layer of protection is being requested. Now let's move into temperature monitoring and fan considerations. Modern BIOS and UEFI interfaces provide built-in hardware monitoring tools that allow you to view real-time temperature readings for critical components such as the CPU and motherboard. Monitoring these values is essential because excessive heat can lead to system instability, automatic shutdowns, reduced performance due to throttling, and long-term hardware damage. If a computer powers off unexpectedly during heavy workloads, becomes unusually loud, or feels excessively hot, checking temperature readings within the BIOS or UEFI setup utility is a logical troubleshooting step. One important advantage of firmware-level temperature monitoring is that it occurs before the operating system loads. This allows you to determine whether overheating is a hardware issue rather than a software problem. If temperatures are already elevated while sitting in the firmware interface, the issue is likely related to cooling hardware, airflow, or improper installation of components. In addition to monitoring temperatures, BIOS and UEFI settings allow you to configure how system fans respond to rising heat levels. Many systems provide adjustable fan profiles or customizable fan curves. A fan curve defines how aggressively the cooling fans increase speed as temperature rises. For example, a quiet profile may allow fans to spin slowly until higher temperature thresholds are reached, while a performance profile increases fan speed more aggressively to maintain lower operating temperatures. Proper fan configuration plays a critical role in maintaining system stability and protecting hardware. After installing a new CPU, replacing a heatsink, applying new thermal paste, or building a custom system, verifying temperature readings and fan operation within the firmware settings is an important final step. For exam purposes, if a scenario mentions overheating, unexpected shutdowns under load, loud fan behavior, or thermal warnings, temperature monitoring and fan configuration within BIOS or UEFI should immediately come to mind. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more great content.